Hey everyone, author CJ Anaya here, and welcome back to Author Journey. We are going to talk a little bit about how to write a great book blurb today. This is super important because this is what is going to sell your book to people who are being inundated with all sorts of different books. When you go to Amazon, you're looking through page after page of Amazon book pages that are filled with so many possibilities, but your blurb needs to stand out, and your blurb is what's going to help people decide whether or not your book is worth the money or worth the time. And so it's really important to get this nailed down. Now, there are a few things that I incorporate that maybe some authors don't, but I've just found that this formula really works for me. I've seen it work for others. There are probably a lot of other tutorials out there and other ideas. So any suggestions you have are great, but this is what works for me, and it's what I want to share with you guys. So what to include in a blurb? Let's get right to it. One of the first things that I always do is I create a tagline that sums up the main conflict of my book. So that is super important, and I'm going to go into detail more on that in a minute. You're going to introduce the protagonist, because if we don't know what the book is about or who it's about, it's kind of hard to get emotionally attached to it. Introduce the main want and or problem. This kind of repeats what the tagline does, but it does it in a more fleshed out way. So the tagline is what's going to draw you in. It's just that little catchphrase that's going to make you stop and think, oh, I want to see what this book is really about. And then the rest of the blurb, the two paragraphs that you write, that's what's going to really explain it in a way that draws them in even more. You're going to hint at obstacles that you need to overcome, but you don't want to give it all away, okay? You want to pique a reader's interest and keep them guessing, but leave them wanting more. Make it so that they want to buy that book, that they're eager to hand over that money and that $2.99, however much your book is. A lot of books now are 99 cents. Okay, if there are 2 points of view in the story, then there should be 2 points of view in the blurb. So one paragraph might be from the female's point of view. I've seen this done a lot in romances, and I'll go into this more just to give you examples. But like one paragraph might be of the female's point of view or her perspective or about her issues, and then the other paragraph would be about the male's issues and how he sees her. So that works really well for those types of books. And then you want to incorporate keywords and phrases into your blurb. Now that is a whole tutorial unto itself, which is why I've basically taken all of these points and I'm breaking them down into little videos. So this video is just going to be about the tagline. It's probably only going to be about 5 to 6 minutes, and we're just going to go through and do a little series so that you guys can ingest this information in bite-sized chunks here, okay? So, taglines. Here's the first one that I want you to look at. I know you guys recognize this. One ring to rule them all. Oh, it gives me so many feels because I love Lord of the Rings, okay? I have so many good memories. So what you're looking at is the tagline for Lord of the Rings, okay? This has gotten so much mileage. Anytime anyone hears this, I'm pretty sure, I'll be so sad if there's someone who doesn't know this. Go read Lord of the Rings. You immediately think of not just the books, but the movies, because they they go hand in hand. Okay, so how about this one? To boldly go where no man has gone before. Great tagline. Great tagline. Oh, it's so good. I'm such a Trekkie too. I am a nerd. Loving it. Loving it. Okay. So these well-known taglines, they help to convey a main idea or theme that draws a reader in, and it encourages them to continue reading your blurb, which is super important to selling your book. Just remember that your book's blurb is one of your main selling points for your books, and it needs to entice your reader into buying it. That is the goal. So what I want to do now, and hopefully I'm learning how to use this software. What I want to do now is I want to go and I want to show you some examples of taglines that different books have used. So obviously I'm gonna use mine. You're stuck with one of mine. I'm gonna go over and look at a few more. But basically all I have for My Fair Assassin is the tagline is it's not every day a teenage girl is singled out for assassination. Okay, it's short, it's to the point. Krista is about to be killed. That's really what we stumble upon the minute you open the book. It's all about this fairy prince letting her know that she's taking her imminent death quite well, you know. He's just threatened her and she's kind of like, fine, whatever, get it over with. So that's basically the main conflict at the moment. It gives people an idea of what it could be about. It grabs your attention because suddenly you're like, wait, what? A girl's gonna get killed? I gotta figure out why. And so hopefully that encourages you to read the rest of the blurb, okay? So here's another example. Okay, with Marry Your Billionaire. This is another book I wrote. It's a different genre. I did keep the same pen name because I didn't know any better. So, oh well. I guess I could have done a different pen name as a romance author, strictly romance author, but I wasn't too concerned about that. Anyway, not important. Back to what I wanted to get to. And I actually changed this. So let me refresh this page to see, because I condensed, oh, it didn't change. What I wanted to show you was this tagline right here, because I had changed it up quite a bit. And maybe you can see it if I pull it up here. Let's see, pull it up. There's my cover. Okay, so I recently changed this because I realized that my tagline that I had before, it just wasn't what I wanted, and this was really what I wanted. He needs a wife. She just wants her trust fund. And that is essentially what Marry Your Billionaire is about, is that Brody, he needs a wife to save his career. And Midge, Madeline Knightley, is in desperate need of her trust fund because she can't fund her college and she's turned her back on her dad and his wealth. And so him needing a wife and her needing her trust fund, it kind of makes it so that they end up needing each other even though they don't really want to, as they're stuck in a situation that they don't really want to be stuck in. But it's tantalizing enough that you sit there and go, he needs a wife, she just wants her. What is going to happen? What does that mean? So that's another interesting tagline. Now, I'm going to give you a few other examples of other books who do different things with their taglines, okay? So instead of this being a tagline right here, this book is called After You Left. What this author has done, or whoever it is that put this blurb together, is given them just a tiny little snippet or a little thought of the main character. So it's coming straight from the point of view of the main character. So I'm actually just going to read it. You want to know what the worst thing is? It's not the embarrassment or the looks on people's faces when I tell them what happened. It isn't the pain of him not being there. Loneliness is manageable. The worst thing is not knowing why. And now all of us are wondering, why what? Not knowing why what? And so obviously she's alone and she's been left and we don't know why, and now we want to read more. So do you see how that necessarily isn't a tagline, but it's a great little tiny introduction from the main character's point of view that the author has just put a little snippet in right there, and it draws us in right away. This is actually a great way to draw people into the book and to get into the protagonist's mind without even, just in a blurb. So this is really cool. I really like this approach to a tagline, although it's a little bit longer than a tagline, but I think it's really cool and effective. Okay, this is another one. This is Dean Koontz, and I think I talked about Dean's book, The Husband, in a different video. But basically what he's done right here is just this little line right here. And then the rest goes into describing what the book's about. But we have your wife, you get her back for $2 million cash. And it's like, dun, dun, dun. That's all you need, right there to get you super excited and thinking, man, what's he gonna do? The wife has been taken. He's got to come up with $2 million cash. Does this guy even have $2 million cash? I mean, what does he do for a living? So now suddenly all these questions are forming in your head. Where is she? Why was she taken? Who has taken her? And so you're compelled to read the rest of the book, or the rest of the blurb. And then I just wanted to give you another example of one more. I have seen a lot of authors do this with their page where they have, do you see this area right here where they put reviews in first? You can do that. I don't think there's any wrong or right way. I think it's personal opinion. For me, my personal opinion is I don't want to have to scroll down through a lot of reviews. I'd rather see the reviews at the end, because what I'm looking for is what the book is about. That's just my personal opinion. If you feel differently, then go ahead and totally put reviews in. If you think that that's going to be a better selling point for you, if that's going to be the best thing for someone to see. But this right here, this whole, 3 taglines, I guess you could say, but basically this little intro to the blurb, I think is so perfect. She used to make coffee. Now she's making sure her high profile clients don't keel over and die at the dinner table. A natural career progression, right? That's so witty. It's fun, it's witty, it makes you think about it a little bit, okay? And that would have been all I needed. I didn't necessarily need all of this here. I just wanted to get right to this part so I could go in. And it's called Eat, Pray, Die. I love that title. It's a great title. So, if you love mystery books, come jump on this bandwagon right here, because it looks really interesting. But basically, this is the tagline. So what I want you to do, I'm giving you a homework assignment. If you do have a book, or if you just have an idea for a book, I want you to take that main idea or the main issue, the main problem at hand, and just see if you can one-line it. Just try really hard to one-line it or two-line it, maybe even three-line it, but it's got to be a catchphrase, something that is going to grab your reader's attention and hint at what the book is about enough in enough of a way where they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I really want to know what this book is about. So there are a few different ways to do it. But I really think that if you can sit down and just try different ways, do 5 different examples, throw it up on Facebook and talk to your author friends and ask them which one they like. But something that will grab a reader's attention, because man, we're passing through so many Amazon pages. You really have to work hard to get a buyer's attention, to get a reader's attention these days. So work on that first. And then hopefully you will be able to get your own tagline, something that's as catchy as "one ring to rule them all," or "to boldly go where no man has gone before," and maybe years down the road, it'll be the type of tagline or catchphrase that everyone will be quoting, possibly misquoting, but using as part of an inside joke. So that's something to think about. Anyways, thanks for joining me. Part 2 of this will go into the next thing that I talked about, and that's just how to introduce your protagonist. So we'll go into that, and we'll look at some examples of that. But I hope that you enjoyed this one. For sure, subscribe, comment, like. Let me know if you have found other examples of great blurbs that we can all look at and learn from. Just put those links in the comments below so that we can all use them as references and resources, so we can all really help each other out. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.